Most people believe something simple about money. They believe that once you start making more of it, life will start to feel easier, bills will feel lighter, decisions will feel calmer, and the quiet financial stress sitting in the back of your mind will slowly disappear. But for many people, the opposite happens. Their income grows, and strangely, so does the pressure. At first, it feels confusing. You worked hard to get here. You improved your skills. You built your career. You started earning more than you ever did before. From the outside, it looks like progress. But internally, something doesn't feel very different. The numbers have changed, yet the sense of financial tension still exists, just in a different form. And that experience is more common than people realize, because money doesn't just change your bank account, it changes the structure of your life. When income grows, life quietly expands with it. A slightly nicer apartment, a better car, more comfortable travel, small upgrades that slowly become normal. None of these decisions feel dramatic on their own. In fact, they often feel reasonable. After all, if you're earning more, it makes sense to improve your lifestyle a little. But over time, those improvements start forming a new baseline. A life that once felt like a luxury begins to feel ordinary. And once something becomes ordinary, losing it starts to feel uncomfortable. This is where a different kind of stress begins to appear. Not survival stress, maintenance stress. At the beginning of a career, financial pressure often comes from trying to build a life, paying rent, managing basic expenses, trying to save something for the future. But later, the pressure changes. Now the goal is no longer building a life, it's protecting the one you already created. And protection creates its own form of anxiety, because once your lifestyle grows, your financial responsibilities grow with it. Your monthly obligations become larger, your expectations rise. Your definition of enough slowly shifts. And the strange part is that these changes happen quietly. Most people don't notice them in real time. They only notice the result, a constant background pressure to keep things going, to maintain the level you've reached, to make sure the income continues. This is why making more money doesn't automatically remove stress. Sometimes it simply changes its shape. A person earning $50,000 might worry about covering their bills. A person earning $200,000 might worry about maintaining the entire life they've built. Different numbers, similar emotional tension. And this isn't just theory, you can see it clearly in real life. Imagine someone early in their career earning $60,000 a year. Their financial stress is straightforward. They're trying to manage rent, groceries, and maybe save a little money. Every dollar feels important. 10 years later, that same person might be earning $180,000. From the outside, it looks like a huge improvement, and in many ways it is. But now their financial life is very different. They may have a mortgage, higher monthly expenses, a family to support, bigger long-term commitments. The pressure hasn't disappeared, it has simply evolved. Instead of worrying about building a life, they're now responsible for maintaining one. And that responsibility can feel heavy, especially when income becomes tied to identity. Because money isn't just practical, it's emotional. We often use financial progress as a quiet measurement of personal progress. If income goes up, we feel like we're moving forward. If income slows down, we start questioning ourselves. Over time, our emotional state begins moving with the numbers. A strong financial year feels like validation. A slow period can feel like failure, even when nothing meaningful about us has actually changed. This is where money stops behaving like a tool and starts behaving like a scorecard, a constant test of whether we're doing well enough. But living that way can be exhausting because it turns every financial fluctuation into something personal. And the reality is that financial outcomes are rarely that simple. Markets change, industries evolve, opportunities appear and disappear. Sometimes income rises because of timing. Sometimes it slows for the same reason. Very little of this has anything to do with personal worth, which is why one of the healthiest shifts people can make is separating identity from income. Your income is information. It tells you something about your current situation, but it doesn't define your value. When that separation becomes clear, something interesting happens. Money starts to feel quieter, less emotional. It returns to its original role, a tool, not a measurement of who you are. And when money becomes a tool again, the relationship with it changes. You stop chasing higher numbers just for the sake of numbers.
Instead, you start asking a different question. Not how much can I earn, but how calm does my life feel? Because real financial progress often looks different than people expect. It doesn't always mean a dramatic increase in income. Sometimes it means reducing the pressure attached to money, building a life where financial decisions feel slower, more intentional, less reactive. A life where money supports your choices instead of constantly testing them. And that shift can feel surprisingly powerful, because when financial pressure becomes quieter, other parts of life become clearer. You think more patiently, you plan further ahead, you stop measuring your life in monthly financial results. In the end, financial freedom isn't always about reaching the highest possible income. Sometimes it's something much simpler. It's about reaching a point where money stops dominating your emotional energy, where financial decisions feel calm instead of urgent, where the numbers matter, but they no longer control how you feel about yourself. Because the real goal was never just earning more money. The real goal was building a life that feels lighter once you do. And sometimes, that kind of calm is the most valuable form of wealth there is.
If this video felt a little too real, like it was describing something you've been quietly dealing with, then you're not alone. A lot of people are trying to figure out money on the surface, but very few are actually trying to understand how it feels underneath. And that's what this channel is really about. Not just making more money, but building a calmer relationship with it. So if you've watched this far, there's a good chance this kind of thinking resonates with you. You might want to check the next video on your screen, because it builds on this idea and goes a little deeper into how people actually create financial stability over time. And if you want more videos like this, you can subscribe. No pressure, but if you do, I'll keep making these for you.